Very recently, I brought the monsters in my debut novel, The Ascendants, to life. The roaches, the Gidanwe, exactly as described in the book. And this is the result. It is so cool. But I sort of want to wear like a baby carrier, just like Heavy Mummy. Yeah. But I've decided I want to commit to the biggest project I've ever made. The roach, or the Gidanwe, in my novel The Ascendants, is an obsessively consuming creature that, without spoiling anything, turned out to be overwhelming in a number of ways. Now, I created this non-life-size model of the roach without any view to how I would fit into him as a costume. So now we need to figure that part out. And to do that, well, I gotta make me into a 3D model, which I have done once before. That was difficult enough, and I was standing perfectly still in a reasonably comfortable position. I have to simulate what I think I will need to be positioned like in the suit, with my knees bent and my arms reaching forward. And as you can see, I was drenched in sweat 2 minutes in, which had me pretty terrified. Is this project a terrible idea before I've even started it? Probably. There is hope, but also I'm still nervous. I took the 3D scan of me into virtual reality and cleaned up the pokey outy bits that I used as stands, repositioning and resizing just a little bit. Turns out it's a pretty decent fit. So even though I can fit inside this mostly as he is, that doesn't solve the biggest problem we're gonna face. Like, how supportive do these arms need to be? How counterweighted does the butt need to be? I have no idea. I am definitely gonna need help with this one. I met Lumen's workshop over the last couple of years at PAX events in Australia and was really excited by seeing all the foam and the cool projects. Really wanted to try that stuff myself, and they've agreed to help me. All right, I have a project reveal for you guys. This is the Gidanwe.
Oh, that's sick.
So I unveiled my life-size poster that I printed up of the roach. Very quickly, it became apparent what the various challenges of the build would be, and there would be many. Having the lightest weight possible front, how that mounts to me, and then the arms is the other challenge.
Yeah, I'll go grab some big paper.
Amazing.
Start drawing.
I love big paper. I love drawing. Yay! This is Maggie, the cosplay mastermind, and John, the engineering genius, who are helping us try and pull off this absurd project. After a bit of back and forth and planning, we decided it would be best to divide and conquer. John and Maggie went with Benny to the hardware store to get everything they needed to build the frame and ways that that would attach to me, which means that they left me unsupervised in their giant playground full of toys. But of course I actually did get some work done, specifically cutting up the aluminium pieces and using my giant roach reference to start to put together the claws.
Oh, you're scared of the claw.
We have to cut to that. They got back from the hardware store. I promised I didn't break anything, and we all kept going to work, me on the claws and them starting to put that frame together. And of course, every now and then they needed a reference. Massive shout out to Lumen's Workshop, who are hosting us and making this whole collaboration possible. Their links are in the description. Follow them on Instagram for awesome stuff. And of course, go to their Lumen's Workshop website for all of your cosplay and foam needs. This is an incredibly fun hobby, and they are the coolest and most experienced people you could possibly speak to, and have some amazing projects under their belt. Now, while we started piecing together the beginnings of some of our structural work, Maggie actually went to print a life-size reference of a roach, which, I mean, I went as close as I could, but I couldn't go big enough because I always pictured the roach's eyes being at human eye level. That's not even the f***ing height of it.
No, it isn't.
Holy shit, it's gonna be like that.
Yes.
oh my God. But when actually seeing it at that scale, it was bigger than I thought we would be able to build. My head's all the way back here. The front of me is over here. And that's when something truly unexpected happened. Maggie and John convinced me to make it bigger. The thinking being that the more upright I can be, the more weight bearing I can have on my shoulders and hips without putting myself in any pain. And I guess, they have the experience at the end of the day and were confident that we could make the front light enough and back weight the tail enough that it shouldn't be a problem. And you know what? It really doesn't take much convincing for me to agree to make something bigger. Let's just see if we all regret it. And there's something I know you won't regret, and that's reading my debut novel, The Ascendants. This is seriously the reason I never turned down making a project bigger, because this novel is the outcome of that. I worked my ass off to put everything I could into something I know you will love. And my favorite reviews are the people who picked it up not expecting a whole lot and ended up leaving with emotional trauma because I made them cry. Not because of scary monsters. That's the gateway drug. That's how I get you in. But how I want to keep you there is with characters you love and with a world you're fascinated to learn more about. And it really is just the beginning. It's available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback and will soon be available on audiobook, which I know a lot of you have expressed interest in. I've actually been recording it over the last few weeks. I can't tell you exactly when that'll come out, but if you are one of the many people who have said you want the audiobook version, go sign up to my newsletter. The link is in the description. Signing up to my author's newsletter will mean you'll only get an email when I release something. Now let's get back to making this thing life-size. Yeah. I've got claws! So, what I'm actually thinking is if the pivot point is somewhere there, I'm thinking of like welding some sort of like bike handle on a 45-degree angle, and then it'll basically be like an elliptical to like push and pull the claw. This is looking very solid.
It's gonna be. I just have to mod one piece. Just need to recheck the fit on you.
Look at that. It feels like a perfect fit. And then over here, these are my mid straps.
So this piece is gonna go from the back to here.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna thread the waist pieces, which are gonna be like in here, so you can like.
Oh, so you're keeping this?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Because I was like, hey, let's work for us.
Yeah, because you've got the two.
You're making the rings. And
I'm making the rings.
To time it.
Yeah. All right, so I'm moving on to welding now. The reason I got these like medical recovery boots is because, like ski boots, I can't move my ankle, which is ideal because especially if I'm gonna have like bent legs and holding myself up on my tiptoes, I need the support. I discovered these have kind of the perfect setup because when I pull it all apart, I can remove this rubber flap and they have these channels at the bottom which would fit the steel. So I can grind back in these gaps and I will have the perfect positioning for the support of the legs to come out. How good is that? So that'll be there. These will come out. I'll bend them down and make platforms underneath. Now I went outside and welded for a good 20 minutes, welding the bends and the beams that would hold my legs up. While Maggie and John were full steam ahead on assembling the entire frame, which made a lot more progress and came together a lot quicker than I expected. Whoa, that came together quick.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
So we were just fabricating all the pieces. And then...
Whoa! Okay, all right. That's what the f? Look at me go!
Are we good? Are we good?
And we haven't even put it
better than expected.
Yeah, we haven't even put like a back weight on. Oh my god, you guys, this might work.
It's definitely gonna work.
We'll split up. By the time we get back together, I will have stilts, and then we will figure out the arms and we'll finish the frame.
Yeah.
Go team!
High fives.
Woo.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, we are back in my studio. I need to reinforce these because while I'm happy with the shape of them, I'm not happy with the stability. There's still a bit of give in there. And then we have quite a bit of work to do on our legs. So I need to cut this at the right height, do a foot pad and do a second support down there and weld and bolt it all together. Big day ahead of us. Let's go. Now, welding the legs together was a bit of a slow process, especially because I really need them to be symmetrical and balanced in the sense that I won't fall over. And I kind of want them both angling in a little bit, which hopefully will force my legs further apart so I don't look like a weird, close-legged together, weedy little alien, which will also, hopefully, lend me a bit more stability in a wider stance. Okay, so that's one leg out of the two kind of done. I'm just a little nervous that all the support is leaning. So I sort of want to weld a support like this that crosses all of them. But otherwise, I mean, this is really sturdy. It's heavy, but the suit's going to be, it's all going to be very heavy. And it's pretty tall too. Okay, I've got to do another boot like that, do those upright supports, and I think that's everything I'll be able to get done before we go back to our friends at Lumen's workshop. So with my boots freshly welded, it was back to Lumen's workshop to see how it all comes together. There's no grips on the bottom of these. Just realised that. Unfortunately, it is looking very good, and even in proportion to that drawing we did, the frame and the legs and the size, everything fits perfectly when overlaid and to scale to our reference. However, it's going to bulk out even more with the foam on top. So John sets to work cutting things back so that we can expand out a little further, and I move on to reinforcing and building handles out of my clawed arms.
How are you? Is it a good time?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Now, in the middle of our frame reworking, we got a call from one of the PAX event organisers because we've warned them that we're going to be trying to squeeze this monster into the venue and hopefully find a place for it to stand over the days of PAX if I'm not able to be with it or in it the whole time.
It looks cool just from the little sketch that Maggie sent. Is it from anything in particular?
My novel.
Okay, cool.
So there is no IP infringement.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah.
The good news is we found a place. So we've put the details on the screen and in the description for you to check out. I'm planning to be in the suit roaming around the halls of PAX at midday on Friday, but outside of that, it will be set up
outside the Cosplay Lounge.
They'll basically be out like that, at a slight angle each, which will also give me a bit more support.
Yeah.
I think the height of these, like, there's only so far up I can go anyway, so I'd probably like do it like here.
No, using this 45, we can get the width, but then we can pivot it here.
Okay.
And we can just use straight pipes.
Oof, it's interesting, isn't it? Oh! I'll come down so you can reattach that. So with a plan in place, we divide and conquer. Maggie and John off to the hardware store to get some bits and pieces to bring the frame together, while I move on to reinforcing and welding my arms so that they can take a bit of weight and come in at an angle that will enter the body. We are finally in the home stretch of the first step of this massive build, which at this stage involves adding rubber pads to the bottom of my giant heavy steel legs so that I don't slip and I have some grip. And the final bending, assembly, cutting and measurement of the entirety of the roach. And just like the last time I was here working with Maggie and John, it turns out the last portion of the day when you bring it all together, have everything come together shockingly quickly. today's activities have been a little less documented as compared to the first day because we know the plan and we've really been sort of fine-tuning and finalizing. We're now at the end of the day and we're also at the end of this part of the project, which means we, in theory, have a final frame to put all the pieces together. I've got arms with the reinforced support and with the bend so it can go through the frame, which has all been glued together and will no longer fall apart whenever I touch it or move slightly. And we have the feet, which now have grips so I can walk around. They are so heavy. You have no idea. All right, let's put it all on. Three, two, one. Okay, now we began this video with me drenched in sweat just to 3D scan what it's gonna look like in the suit. And I thought, you know what, when I got the suit on, I won't be drenched in sweat. It'll all be, no, I'm still drenched in sweat. But you know what? I think anyone who's ever cosplayed a big suit like this, they're sweating inside. You know what's also really cool is, I mean, aside from needing to put these handles in, it moves like pretty organically. Like it looks pretty insectine and alien. Ah, this is a huge project, only possible with the help of Lumen's Workshop. Thank you guys. You're the best. Come here into my loving embrace. Massive shout out to Maggie and the team at Lumen's Workshop who are making this whole cosplay possible, not only providing us with the build materials we need, but also by building it with us. I could not make this without their help. I mean, oh my God, look at it. And it's all thanks to Lumen's Workshop. But we're just getting started.
Yeah.
So can I get your help finishing it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now this is the first part in what I expect to be a 3-part video and it's going to be insane. We're already halfway through the next part. And I can tell you, you're not gonna wanna miss this. So make sure to subscribe to follow along with the series, hit like and leave a comment so YouTube knows you wanna see the next one. And while you're waiting for it, why don't you go check out The Ascendants, available on Amazon, or if you want the audiobook, sign up to that newsletter so I can let you know as soon as it drops.